In Jean-Paul Sartre's 1944 play, No Exit, we got the very famous phrase, hell is other people. And nothing encapsulates that sentiment quite as much as open back headphones. Open back headphones sound so beautiful. You have a wide sound stage. You have so much detail. It's like you're sitting there in concert. It's absolutely the most gorgeous sound. But you can hear everything around you. You can hear the people, the machines, the cars and trucks and things that go. But despite them not being made for a busy, busy world, I'm your cool Uncle Marissa, and I do love open ear headphones. So color me intrigued when I heard about the Moondrop Pill. The Moondrop Pill is a set of open ear earbuds. Now, I was rather skeptical about them because as you guys know, I'm not a Bluetooth person. I love me wired earphones, headphones, all of them. Give me all of the wires. And also just open ear earbuds. What even is that? However, you may have noticed, I may have mentioned that I can't really do IEMs anymore. I've kind of just conceded to the fact that my ears reject them. Some ear tips are better than others, and that's advice that I've passed along to other folks. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, it is always night, and that is generally when my ears start to feel really wet and itchy from a day of wearing in-ear monitors. So in a way, there was that hole in my life of something that's more manageable and portable than over-ear or on-ear actual headphones. So I said, why the heck not? And for $49.99, it's not the biggest investment in the world. And here it is, the Moondrop Pill, with a very satisfying fidget spinner-like case that it says in the instruction manual, do not open and close it more than necessary, which I will talk about in a bit further. But also, it's so hard not to because it's so fun. Oh my God. Maybe I should get a fidget spinner. Anyway, seeing pictures of it, they seem rather big, unwieldy. How do they stay on? Because we're used to earbuds. They just go in your ear and they supposedly stay there if you have the right fit. Headphones clamp onto your head. So how do these work? So this is what they look like out of the box. It's kind of two beans. One bean you see has the speaker on it, and the other bean is bean shaped. And I'll show you guys. And that's it. I was honestly a bit nervous about the fit because I generally am nervous about the fit of these things. I was also nervous because I wear earrings. Will they interfere with each other? But it feels very secure, like an ear cuff, and it doesn't fall off either. It's very secure. No movement whatsoever. Now, in terms of fit, the manual also states quite accurately that the closer the speaker bit is centered in your ear hole, the better the sound. And this is true, especially when I've tested manually sort of sticking it closer to my ear hole. It sounds significantly better. And that is something that's going to vary based on your ear shape, because for me, sort of the way it sits the best for that is it kind of is by my earlobe. So it kind of pushes my earlobe out. If I wanted it more just on my cartilage, it would be about here, but that would mean that the speaker is more on the bone inside my ear as opposed to over the ear hole. So I tend to have it more like this. So that also I was like, oh, is it going to interfere with the earrings and stuff? But no, it's great. In fact, I can wear these all day. People talk a lot about the comfort of various headphones and earbuds, and I have some of those things. Like I've said before that the super light Walkman headphones from Sony are ones that I could have on all day. But at the same time, I do feel their presence. I do recognize their presence. Whereas with these, this is the first time there's something that could be in on around my ear, and I can actually wear it all day. And that's super cool because I've worn them while doing chores around the house, like washing dishes, vacuuming, all that. And yeah, it's really impressive. I do wonder if you're someone who maybe doesn't wear earrings or often wear earphones. If it's kind of sort of out of nowhere, you probably might not have that reaction because you're not used to things sort of weighing on your ear to any degree. But if you're used to some weight on your ears to varying degrees, then I think that they would actually be pretty comfortable for you. Now, of course, how do they sound? Really good, actually. So with something like this, I expected that it might veer towards a very tinny sound, but it actually has a decent amount of bass. Although mayhaps I should be careful using the word bass and more, it has a decent amount of lows. I feel like I can distinguish the lows and mids and highs pretty well with these. It's obviously not the best sounding listening equipment that I have. My more expensive and over-ear headphones, more expensive IEMs sound better, but for watching something or casually listening while doing chores, it doesn't sound such that you would be bothered by the poor audio quality. It's quite incredible, I have to say. I've used them to watch YouTube videos, to listen to new albums. I wouldn't use them for critical listening, but honestly, I'm not always listening critically. That would be exhausting. These are the ones where you want to have sound in your head and you don't really want to feel the physical burden of what is putting the sound in your head. These are the thing for it. And also there is the Moondrop app, which you can use to tune them. Now, if you remember, I reviewed these super expensive, ridiculous gaming earbuds from Sanware quite a while ago. And I don't remember if I was saying it in that video or the Ko-fi exclusive follow-up to it, that relying on an app to make your product sound good is kind of pathetic, especially at their price point, which was absolutely insane. What was it, like $300 or something? So I do want to clarify that is not the case. If you don't download the app and you just use these headphones out of the box, they sound totally fine. And I tend to have them on the reference mode anyway. But if you do want to, you can adjust the EQ yourself. There's like community EQ available as well. They are mostly in Chinese, so you might want to like Google Lens them to see what exactly they do, because there's not really a way to preview them. You kind of just have to download them and apply them to try them out, which is a little bit annoying. It would be cool to see if Moondrop could let you preview the EQ sound before downloading it, because then also you get into this thing of, oh, well, I downloaded all these profiles and the titles are all in Chinese anyway, so I don't remember which one I actually liked. And then they do have their own 3 modes too, which is like a reference and 2 different bass versions. And I tend to go between bass plus and reference depending on what I'm listening to. If some videos on YouTube, for example, if I'm watching and listening, they tend to be tuned higher maybe, I'll add the bass plus. But generally for things that are more professionally EQ'd or recorded, I tend to just stick to reference. In terms of how they sound with those cars and trucks and things that go in a busy, busy world, I'm also fairly impressed by that as well. I think because it is, like, they're not analogous to open back headphones, possibly due to the fact that they're just a little speaker that's super close to your ear canal. So I am actually very good with them if I'm walking to the store or something like that. I can hear the traffic and stuff, but for example, if people are having a loud conversation, I don't really tune into it. I can enjoy it. It feels a bit, I guess, like carrying a boombox around with you. Like, you can hear it, you can hear the world, but you can also hear that. However, once I get into the subway, then over the loud trains that are just lubricated by the blood of dead rats, which is great to know that as information that I have about the MTA that I don't love. But they're so rackety. If you've ever been on the subway, can't really hear the music over that, even if you get it super loud. But a chill walk in the park or to the store or whatever, yeah, you can have them. In terms of the microphone quality, it's fine. It's serviceable. I think that my laptop built-in microphone is better, but yeah, it's fine. That's not why I got them. I don't talk to people on the phone. I am afraid of the phone, so it wouldn't really be super helpful there anyway. But when I've done sample voice recordings on my phone, the voice recording isn't like, it's not breaking up or dropping or anything. So they are, again, very likely very serviceable for just taking a quick call. In terms of control, so I have had issues before with in-ear, Bluetooth, whatever earphones and their controls being like too hard to press. For example, the Skull Candy earbuds that I have, you have to like press a button. And so if it's in your ear and you're pressing the button, you're kind of squeezing it in your ear, which is a terrible, uncomfortable design. So I just don't use the controls on those. And then we have things that are very touchy. I had this experience with the Samsung Galaxy Buds. I always want to call them the beans because they look like beans. And also with the awful little sandware where if you're just like doing this, oh, I touched my earbud and now it's doing something. With these, the controls are in this back, the part that's widest. So you actually have to make an effort to go back here, and from there you can press various numbers of times to do the function that you like, and to a certain extent the functions are assignable on the app as well, which is awesome. The play, pause, next, previous are really good features to have that I think are basic part and parcel, nothing to brag about. I really wish there was some kind of volume function though, because if I'm using the controls on the earbud so I don't take out my phone, it would be really nice to just be able to, you know, maybe a swipe gesture to up and down the volume or something. That would be very nice. Very, very nice. But yeah, I've had no problem with accidentally hitting a command, which is, I think, probably the first time that I've had a good experience, but also don't take that as this is a miraculous thing on the part of the pill, because I just, again, don't typically use Bluetooth earbuds or headphones. So I have not come across too many different types of touch controls. Speaking of Bluetooth itself, the range on them is quite good with my phone. I can have my phone in my apartment and then go down a few flights of stairs outside of my apartment into the building, and the connection is still there. It's pretty shoddy with my PC, but I think my PC just has really bad Bluetooth. So with my PC, I'll literally go to the other side of the room and it starts cutting out. And speaking of shoddy connections, also with my PC, there is lag when I'm watching, if I'm watching YouTube or something, there is lag between the audio and video. So you just put them in game mode, which default I believe is 4 taps. And once it's in game mode, it fixes that latency issue completely. And I don't notice a significant deterioration in sound quality. Again, that's watching YouTube. It's not critical listening anyway. The battery life has also been good. I've been charging them pretty vigilantly every once in a while when I remember, and I haven't had them die on me. So I haven't done a comprehensive test on do they live up to the claimed battery life, but I've not have them die on me, and I don't like charge them every night or anything like that. An uncritical A. And now to talk about the case, as I alluded to earlier in this video. Someone in my Discord had an experience with, I think they're called like the space travel or something, Moondrop earbuds, Bluetooth also, and they came out with 2 versions of those, and they were having trouble with the case on both versions being quite flimsy. And this seems to be something that Moondrop perhaps is just not very good at. First off, you will notice that this is a big case. This is a hefty case. So if this is something, you know, I've seen people, they have their AirPods on their keychain or on a lanyard or a carabiner. That would be a way to pronounce it, wouldn't it? Carabiner. carabiner. And this is quite big. This goes in a pocket for me. It goes in my bag, or it goes into its own dedicated pants pocket or coat pocket or whatever. I don't even know why there's like a lanyard hole here. I guess you can add a cute charm to it, but the fact that this would be the charm is absurd. I frankly don't really think it looked like a pill either. Like, I'm just like, it just looks like half-colored acrylic, which is what it is, literally, but mayhaps I'm just unimaginative today. And then when it comes to opening, like I said, it's like a fidget toy, right? It does have this dial that you can use, but the thing is, you can also just do this. And it's very satisfying and effective, but something that is quite interesting is there's a lot more resistance trying to close it than trying to open it. Now, why is that a bad thing? Because if this is even in your pocket or anything, say, it's doing it. There we go. Say it moves around in your pocket, or you put your hand in your pocket and you make contact with it. You brush hands together and suddenly everything changes. It opens. And so I've been having issues with like little fibers from my clothes and stuff getting into the case. And if these were like in-ear earbuds, that would be very, very bad. Thankfully, they're not. And thankfully, they're not sticky because they don't have a cover that's silicone or foam or anything. It's just plastic and metal. So they're easy to clean, but that is quite an oversight. What is the point of this dial if you can just open it like regular with your hands? So if there was some sort of lock on the dial, that would be pretty incredible, because then when it's closed, you can lock it and then unlock it to reveal, and then you would prevent those accidental opens. So that's not great, and I think it can limit the usability for certain situations. The other thing, and this is not actually a functional issue really, but you'll notice that the USB-C port is misaligned, and that again just gives me the vibe of like, you guys did not really do a good job designing this or QCing it. So I would say the biggest failing on these is the design and also quality control of the case. If anyone has had quality control issues with the earbuds themselves, I would be intrigued to hear. Also, I think this is my first Moondrop product. I've been like consuming Chi-Fi for a bit now, and I think this is my first Moondrop product. So that's yay! And speaking of Moondrop, a reason that I might have vocalized in past videos is that they're one of those companies that really leans into the lolicon anime Gooner culture, which is, I guess, profitable, but also incredibly disgusting. And so, you know, I'm not super thrilled about that kind of thing. I don't think this came in anything like that, in any packaging like that, which was pretty cool. This is all to say that the little voice, the little Bluetooth voice, you know how you usually have that woman going, connected, disconnected. It is, to my ears, a little child, and who's like, connected, disconnected. And it's kind of cute, and it's less alarming. It's a lot more calm for my heart, because that woman gives me heart attacks. I don't know why. It's just so scary, and like there's something like you've been caught about it. But then I realized I don't think this is supposed to be this voice of a child. I think it's supposed to be like a cutesy, just turned legal anime girl voice. But I don't want to think about that. I'm just gonna continue to think that it's the cute voice of a child. That's not a pro or a con. That's just an observation. Ultimately, I highly recommend these. They solved a bunch of problems that I've had in my life right now, in general, for a while now, when it comes to, I have to use over ear, because I've come to terms with the fact that earbuds and in-ear monitors just do not really jive with my anatomy of my ears, but also I kind of just want something that's light and, you know, not really in the way. And these fill all of those niches very well and without compromising sound quality. Again, don't go in expecting insane sound quality of IEMs or over ear or anything that's like, I can't even say expensive anymore given how affordable things have become, but it's not going to be anything that blows your other products out of the water necessarily, but I think it really holds its own, and it certainly blew my expectations out of the water. I did not expect it to sound as good as it does, and they are not so transparent that you can only use them in a secluded place, which would, I think, defeat the purpose of a Bluetooth earbud setup. They're just a really nice daily carry to have in your pocket. I am aware these are not the very first groundbreaking, whatever, open ear earbuds. However, I haven't tried the other versions, and I do have to confess that the sort of aesthetic of these, the fact that they're white and then they have that color accent based on what color you get, it all and just my trust in Moondrop, as much as I do give them a little bit of flack for following the Gooner culture cache, they are known to be a pretty good brand when it comes to quality, affordable chi-fi. All this led me to trying this of the various open ear earbuds. But if you've tried these and other ones, I'd love to know if these are still the best or if there's another one that you prefer, sound-wise, comfort-wise, whatever. Otherwise, I hope this review was helpful to you. I hope it was interesting. Do consider liking and subscribing if this was helpful and interesting. You can also find me on Discord and complain about your Moondrop earbud cases as well. And then there will be 3 of us. That link's in the description. There is also a link to my Ko-fi where I do monthly game reviews. There will be one this month, as I am coming close to finishing that game over there. Can you tell what it is? And that's just $2 a month to be a Nerdview Advance. I've been your cool Uncle Marissa, and don't forget that you are always welcome at Cool Uncle's house. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!